Okay, everyone. So Jaimee Drakewood is our very first panelist going to go today. She's a makeup artist based out of Philadelphia, and she actually went to Tuskegee University, where she learned of her, passion for fashion and beauty. And she got a lot of compliments on her makeup during that time. So she decided to then pursue makeup as a career. And so in 2017, she started Serene Stylez. It's a makeup business where she focuses on having women be enhanced by makeup rather than hiding behind it. And so we're really excited to have her today because we've seen a lot of the memes online, a lot of the comments of people saying, they don't think they're going to leave quarantine feeling beautiful or looking their best. And we know that that's not true. You have all the tools right at your home to still look beautiful every day. And so we want to highlight that. And so I'm going to turn my camera and my mic off. I'm just going to give everything over to Jaimee so she can start her session and show you guys how to just add a little beauty to your everyday routine.
Hi, everybody. Like she said, my name is Jaimee Drakewood. I'm based out of Philly. And I'm going to show you just a quick, not so quick for people that are beginners, but essentially, turn some of this light down for you. Essentially, some easy steps to do a quote unquote natural face, but basically just enhancing the beauty that you already have inside. So let's jump to it. I've already prepped my face. And when I say I prep my face, that means I have washed it with whatever I use to wash my face, which is a vino. And then I use some micellar water by Garnier, and I moisturize my face with Neutrogena Hydro Boost. It's extremely important to moisturize your face and make sure that your skincare routine is on point when applying makeup, because what people are fear of when it comes to putting on makeup is their makeup actually, like, I don't want to say eating away, but like causing their skin to has acne or whatever. And that's because people aren't cleaning their face and doing these needs to protect it. So protect your face. I have oily skin, so I always prep my face and moisturize my face because I do a lot of setting powder to make sure that it mattifies and stay, flawless at the end of the day. So as you've seen, I've already prepped the eyebrow for you. I've filled in my eyebrow, and I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do this one on camera for you guys. And I simply just take a simple flat brush. I have a brush that has two different sides on it. One is a spoolie, which causes me to comb my hairs in the direction I want them to be. And this one picks up product. You can fill in your brows with pencils, brow pomade, powders, whatever is comfortable for you. Makeup is literally has no rules. And you kind of just go with the flow when it comes to how you like things done. The key that I tell people when it comes to doing their eyebrows is you literally have a brow bone and you follow that brow bone. And you start small. It's easier to start small and just do little hair-like strokes until you get comfortable. And then you brush to take away a lot of that harshness in the blend. I don't really like bringing so much product to the corner or to the tip of my brow because I like my brow to look as, natural as possible. I do hope everybody is staying safe. So one key that I tell people, if you have a small lid space, and that's this space from the tip of your eyelash to here, if it's small, you want to bring this up a little bit just to give it a little bit more room. The same thing I tell my older ladies, my mature ladies, you want to lift this up a little bit because it gives you that snatched look to give you a younger, fresh face. Makeup is, like I said, you're literally enhancing the beauty that you already have. All right, so they're filled, and I'm going to take some product and clean that up. You can literally take any concealer, or you can take concealer, or you can take foundation. I suggest doing foundation if you don't know which shade of concealer to use when you're doing an everyday face. The reason for that is that you won't have that white ash line that a lot of people, you may see some brothers who go to the barbershop when they get their hair cut really fresh, you know, they got the fresh cut, it's because they have that white ash line. Unfortunately, some ladies do the same thing. And, you know, if that works for you, that works for you. But for me, when it comes to a natural look, I try to stay away from it. So I'm literally just going to go underneath my brow and clean up the excess. This is also good for ladies that do not wax or arch their eyebrows. Concealer, if you get the right one with maximum coverage, it can literally hide those hairs. So you're not arching, basically. And I know it looks crazy, but that's me going over. And I'm just gonna blend that out. And with a natural face, honestly, that may be the longest time that you take. And do me a favor, if you have, let's see if you have any chats. Yeah, so one thing I tell people all the time, you do not have to spend a lot of money when it comes to makeup. Unless I have a client, if I'm working on myself, majority of my stuff or majority of the products that I use is from CVS or Walgreens. You do not have to spend a lot of money to get a flawless face. If you stick to a good skincare routine, you will have almost like flawless skin. And that's the key to having flawless makeup. So as you see, like I have some dark marks, but I try my best to take care of my skin by drinking water and all those great things that people tell you. So my go-to foundation is Maybelline Matte and Poreless. Like I told you guys, a lot of my products I use are matte, and that's why I moisturize my face. So I'm using a flat kabuki brush. I meant using the maximum coverage concealer for brows instead of waxing. Well, yeah, oh yeah, that also. And some great concealers. The cheapest one that I know you can get from beauty supply stores called Kiss, and it comes in. It comes in like a set like this. But if you want to go higher end, you have Naked, which is amazing. Those are my two go-tos. And if you don't, like right now, we're in this whole coronavirus punishment phase. So you literally just want to do what you need to do, what you can do, to try to keep, as normalized as possible. So when I apply it, I pat just to get as flawless as possible. And then to blend, and don't worry about these ashy lines, I'm going to go back over with a smaller brush. I just don't want to mess up my eyebrow. Because we do not. Remember, we're going to stay away from this. We're going to stay away from this, guys. I'm going to then go in with a buffer brush. A buffer brush is almost the same width as the kabuki, but it's like, it has a rounded shape, okay? And I'm literally just going to rub, so going to get everything as flawless as possible. And because I'm not going in on my eyes. When I do natural looks, I don't really do shadows. So it's easier to blend my foundation from where I applied from here all the way onto my eyelid. So it's a even, flawless application. Okay. So I'm going to take a smaller brush. And you can either go into your loose powder, or like I have the, sorry you guys. I have the powder, the setting powder for the concealer kit. And I'm just going to take a shade that is close to my skin complexion and go by my brows to counteract that extra highlight. I want to keep a little bit underneath my eye, just right here. You see how we eliminate that? And we just have the little highlight here, okay? We're gonna do the same. What we do on one side, we have to do to the other. And your eyes are usually always the most, the most challenging, which takes the time. Your eyes kind of like make or break the look. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll go underneath. I'm gonna leave a little bit of highlight. You can take, and again, makeup is what you prefer. This is how I prefer my makeup, okay? So you can take all my tips or any tips that I give and just, you know, freak it the way you want to. All right, so for my ladies that have some, you either have some darkness here or you want to brighten this up a little bit, I literally take the same brush that I did with my, underneath my eyebrow to shape it. Then take that concealer and just a little bit. I don't really do the whole drag down, except it's extra thing. Again, makeup is all what you do with it. Do a little bit here on my nose. And these are just high points that I want when the lights or the sun or my selfie camera hits. Those are the points that I really want to show. How much lighter than your own skin tone? I would literally go one shade lighter. So if you take, let me see. So in this palette, this would be my skin tone. This is a concealer's palette. This would be my skin tone. You could either go one shade lighter, or depending on how much you want to brighten your skin. Let me turn that back down for you. How much you want to brighten your skin, but to relieve yourself from the ghost look, I would suggest just one shade lighter. If I'm going for a more dramatic date or photo shoot or something, I may start with this and top it with something a little bit lighter right here once it all dries. So key to coverage when it comes to concealers is allow it to dry down a little bit. Brands for concealers. This brand that I'm using is, you can grab from, if you're in Philadelphia, you can grab from any beauty supply store, and it's by Kiss. Another brand that I use is called Born This Way. And I love them because they just created more shades for women of color. So those in-between shades that we couldn't get, they created shades specifically for that. So I let that dry down a little bit, and I sprayed my clean beauty blender, because what we don't want is the beauty blender to take the product away that we just put down. And as you see, that concealer gave me a wing without me even doing anything. And it snatched my face up. So it pulled my eyes up a little bit. So I basically gave myself a facelift without without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I love using that technique, especially for my mature women. It snatches those eyes up. It gives you a brighter look, and it slims its face down before you even touch your contour palette. Doing the same thing, just going straight up on an angle. So you see my eyes just went without no nip or tuck. So that's all blended out. And we want to, if you ever put down any type of concealer or any type of liquids on your face, especially concealers, ladies, and especially for my mature women, if you do not set it, it will crease. And for my mature women, if you do not set and you allow your makeup to crease, it would actually do the opposite of what you're doing, and it will aid you even more. And that's the last thing we want to do. So I don't really bake. I just take my setting powder and I press it into my skin. Unless I was doing a more dramatic look, I may bake, only so I don't allow any fallout. Fallout is eyeshadows that I'm trying to apply to appear on my face. To avoid that and messing up my makeup altogether, I may bake a little bit, but other than that, I don't bake. I just press it into my skin so we can continue to have that flawless coverage. Gonna go over here into the comments and see what else has been asked. Okay. All right. So we just set. So we did our eyebrows. We applied our foundation. We put on concealer to highlight. And now we're going to chisel just a smidget. Just a smidget. So I'm going to take an angle brush. And when you contour, depends on your preference. When I'm doing a natural look, I usually just go one shade darker than my skin tone. So I'm going to take some product. I'm going to tap so I can dust some off. If you don't know where your cheekbones are, fishy face. And you're going to place it and flick towards your eye, And what you're doing, this is manipulation of the brush, you guys. You are going to, I guess the easiest way is shape shift. Any parts that you don't want to draw attention to, this is what you're going to contour. So for me, I feel like I have a large forehead. So I'm going to bring some down here on my forehead. And I'm going to chisel my cheekbones. I don't like having a small nose. A lot of people contour their nose. I just take my same big brush and just go on both sides, okay? I'm going to go underneath my jawline. If you do not have one, this is the perfect time to create one, okay? And I love a strong chin. I don't know why, but I do. Okay? That's all contouring is. Contouring is all about manipulating, okay? So my favorite part, and what a lot of people of color don't do or they're scared of, is called blush. Ladies, we naturally blush. It's just choosing the shade that's best for you. So I love seeing orange blushes on women of color. On dark skinned women, they have some plums that are really gorgeous. It's finding what's best for you. And my go-to blush is by Milani, is have baked blushes. And the reason why I love them is because they kind of have a bronzer and a highlighter within their blush. So you don't have to go through the additional steps. So I take a big brush, big fluffy brush. I smile. And I go in a circular motion up. So I start with my cheek and I go in circles all the way up. Circles all the way up. And the reason why I like doing a big brush is because it doesn't give me like a harsh pink or whatever color it is. It's nice and flushed out. And that's all blushing is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I don't know about you ladies, but I love a little extra. I'm gonna spray my face down. And this is by Olay. And I'm going to give myself an itsy-bitsy highlight. I know it's supposed to be a natural look, but I don't know a lady who don't like to glow. The spray is called Olay Mist. They have two different sprays, and this is a calming spray. I have a habit, my skin has a habit of flushing out and giving a red undertone, and that's just to keep it cool and kind of react that kind of. So I'm going to give a little bit on my nose, right on top of my lip. My cheek, the very top of my cheek. And you say just a little bit. We don't have to, go crazy here. And you have too much. If you feel like you do too much too much highlight, ladies, take your buffer. Remember the soft, and buff it into your skin. Okay? There's no such thing as messing up makeup. You just go with the flow, okay? We're going to, I take a pencil, brown, I line my lip. Just to give it a little shape. My favorite glosses are by NYX. This is a butter gloss. This color is called Angel Food Cake. It smells so good, y'all. And is that. What's your natural look? If you want to add some mascara, you can. And this look is like anything you can do. You can literally go to a job interview. Because generally, job interviews, you want to have like the least amount of makeup on as possible. Go to the store, cute date. You know what I'm saying? And this is it, ladies. This is a natural look that is done under 30 minutes. And everything I've used, you can literally find in your beauty supply store or at CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Kmart, Target. These are all things that you can find and right at your fingertips. And if you have any questions, we have a couple more. So we're going to go back to which brand of concealer are you using currently? I was using a concealer palette by Kiss. What concealer brand do you suggest for maximum coverage? It depends on how much money you actually want to spend. So on the cheaper end, you can use a palette like that. You can actually, you can feel the consistency. And the thicker it is, the maximum the coverage. But remember, I told you to get the maximum coverage when it comes to your concealer, it needs to dry down a little bit. So if you apply it onto your brows or under your eyes or anything like that, go to something else. You know what I'm saying? Apply your lip gloss or something like that. And apply your lip gloss and it's okay. And then go back to it. And that itself will give you maximum coverage. If you have short brows, eyebrows are personable. So if you have short brows, like I used to have brows that stop right here because I used to get them waxed all the time. And you literally just add onto your wing. So what I suggest to people is to start with your wing first and then build towards the front of your brow. You can easily, I started off by taking a white pencil and marking it. So the top of your brow is here. So you make a dot. You keep your eyebrow pencil by your nose and you tilt it. As you see, that's where my arch is. I make a dot and then I go to the end of my eye and I make a dot. I literally connect the dots. And that's how you get a shape towards your eyebrow. The top of your eyebrow, you literally have a bone here and you just follow the shape. Eyebrows, you can manipulate any way you want. It's okay that you suggested Minted Cosmetics. They are also dope. There is not one type of makeup or makeup brand that's universal for all. You had to find what works for you. I literally have drawers and drawers and drawers of different brands and types of makeup, and you just figure out what works for you. And once you figure that out, I promise you, your makeup routine is going to be like, you can do it with your eyeballs closed.
Jaimee, I actually had a question for you. So I don't wear makeup that often, but I enjoy it. Like when I do, it's fun. I was just curious what advice you had for beginners, people who don't really know what they're doing. I'm one of those people, just like to kind of tips for them to like get started and try and do a good job.
All right, so I love beginners because it is a way to, I kind of like break that ice and jump over a hurdle that you kind of was nervous and scared about. So the first thing I would state is don't be scared. Makeup is literally something fun and you can take it as an art and it's not permanent. So if you feel like you messed up, you can wipe it off and go about your business. You know what I'm saying? So if you are a beginner, I would state that if you have a friend that does makeup and everything like that, and you're nervous about finding your right foundation shade, go with them. And you can literally go to Sephora or Ulta when we're off punishment and swatch yourself. Because honestly, sometimes you go to these places, they swatch you wrong. You kind of look like a ghost or you kind of look darker than what you are. And you can just swatch yourself. You swatch it on your hand and put it up to your face. If you do not like that shade connected to your face, don't choose it. You know what I'm saying? And once you find that shade, I promise you, like everything else kind of like falls to the way, or like falls alongside that. And I would literally just say start by grabbing a foundation and applying that, and start one by one by building up. And by the time you notice, you'll be a pro and beating faces for all your friends and your family members before you know it.
That's awesome. I just wanted to open it one more time for the chat. If anyone has any questions before Jaimee goes, because I know you guys are really curious about products and just different things like that. So
information.
Yeah, and also if you want to connect, where can we connect with you, Jaimee? If people have any other questions or they weren't here for this session, they'll be here later.
Okay, so if you want to find me, I am on all platforms, Facebook and Instagram. You can, and Style Seat is Serene Stylez. So on Instagram is SERENE_STYLEZ. And on Facebook is Serene Stylez Makeup. And on Style Seat is Serene Stylez as well. You can also contact me through email if you do not have any of those platforms, and that's serenestylesmakeup@gmail.com.
Okay, well, awesome. This was such a beautiful, natural look. We loved it, and we just want to thank you so much for your time.
Thank y'all so much for inviting me. I'm so humbled for it. So I appreciate it so much.
Yeah. Well, it was awesome. And everyone, you have her information. So if you have questions, you need someone to do your makeup, you know who to contact. Make sure you ask Jaimee for her contact information so you can get your face looking as great as hers. And if you do any of these looks, if you take in for advice during quarantine, please post a picture, tag Jaimee, tag us. We want to see if you take any for advice. Yes, that'd be awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jaimee.
Thank you. Y'all have a great one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. She looks fantastic.
She did. And
Wow.
before we go on to the next speaker in a few minutes, we were just going to play a couple of ads. We actually have sponsors for today that we wanted to thank: A Doula, Connected Church, Heart to Heart, and Heavenly Head Wraps. So throughout the conference, we're going to be playing different ads and mini commercials so you guys can check.
Our vendors.
Yeah. So we're not going to fit our vendors too. We also have some ads for them. So we're going to be playing them throughout the conference. Make sure you tune in and just look at those and go through, see where you can get some awesome products. So I'm just going to play one of those ads right now, and it'll just be only a few more minutes before we have our next session start. So stay tuned, guys.